All right, here we go. Hey, everyone. Welcome in.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, everybody. Great to see you. Gonna let everybody get join and get logged in. Join us. Excited to see everybody.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Hannah. This is Chris. If you want to put your name, where you're from in the chat, tell us what you've been working on this week, what kind of grants you have going. Would love to just see what everybody's got going on. Excited to see you here. Hey, Colleen. Hey, Beryl. Great to see y'all. Hey, Liz. Good to see you. Andrea. Awesome. Sheena, good to see you. Hey, Heather. So glad y'all made it. Hey, Miranda.
Awesome.
Tiffany, good to see you. Hello, Liz. Hey, Heather. Glad you're here. Amazing. Hey, Andrea. So glad y'all made it. All right. Chris, amazing. Hey, Sarah. Great to see you. Oh, Beryl, doing communications. That's, grants and communications, they go hand in hand. I would agree with that. Uh, Caitlin, Christina, great to see y'all. So glad you're here. Hey, Barbara,
Very cool.
glad you made it. Oh my goodness. So glad. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Liz. Quarterly reporting. All right. Yes. Don't we all know about having to do those reports regularly? All right. So glad to see everyone here today. So glad you could join Chris and I. We are just really so excited that you're here today for the brand new, upgraded, redesigned Grant Frog. We are just have been just chomping at the bit to get this one out the door. Uh, it's really has been just so much fun to create it, to build it, to listen to all of you and all of your wonderful feedback. We really have just built Grant Frog and redesigned it to make it easier for you. We've gotten so much wonderful, kind words and encouragement and great feedback on how you use it and all the things just to make it better. And so that's really has been the foundation of just this entire redesign and making it better for you. And so super excited to be able to share it with you today. And I know many of you were able to get logged in yesterday and start using it and have just heard some great feedback. So thank you so much for that. Just want to do a little introduction. My name is Hannah Wigginton, and I'm the founder and CEO of Grant Frog. I've been a grants director and a fundraiser for over 15 years at a nonprofit and have just managed an entire grants program for many years, raised millions of dollars, have worked in fundraising and just connected with donors. And so have really done it all when it comes to the nonprofit fundraising and grants. And Grant Frog is really uh, just the idea of the things that I've done over the years as a grants director and how I managed my grants. And so just so excited to be able to share it with you and all of you who are already using it and using it in your daily grant work and just continuing to help us make it better. And this is Chris. I'm going to let Chris introduce himself a little bit to you. So go ahead, Chris.
Sure. Yeah. Chris, co-founder and CTO of Grant Frog. I've been working in software for 20 plus years now. My wife works on grants. And between her and Hannah, I've learned a lot about what you all do and how you work, and trying to build the best possible software system for you all.
Yeah. And, I just want to say also kudos to Chris. So Chris and I, he became an official co-founder and CTO of Grant Frog at the end of last year. We've been working together for the past year, and just really want to give him lots of thanks because he has really put a lot of work the past several months into rebuilding Grant Frog. And what you see today is really just from all the great work that he's done, listening to me tell him, oh, I like this, or I don't like this, or hey, let's do this. So, I mean, big kudos for that. So, thankful for Chris and all the great work that he has done on this. So, really just want to talk today a little bit kind of why we've done this, and I'm going to show you today all the new things that we've done, what we've changed, how I think that you can really use it best in your grants program, and how it can help you. We really wanted to do this redesign for many reasons. Number one, just so many things that we knew we wanted to add, to evolve, to make better. And we really needed to do that on really just a new foundation of a platform. And Chris has really taken that and built that onto something new. And just listening to all of your feedback over the past few years and continuing to just make sure that you were able to be successful in your grants program with the way that Grant Frog is designed and built. And so that's a big reason why we've done that. We've been working on it the past several months. And so it's been a lot of fun doing that. And so thank you so much, Liz. You're so sweet. One of the things that we want to say too as we go forward, and I think, so many of you as our customers hopefully can feel that we just love to hear from you. We love to connect with you. We love to hear how you're using Grant Frog and just how we can continue to be more helpful to you, to your team, and how you use it. So continue to share your feedback, continue to reach out to Chris and I, because we really just enjoy hearing from you, number one, and talking to you, and just making your daily life easier and your grants and how you do grants, and making sure that you're successful. So just anytime you have comments, kind words, good vibes, as I like to say, just feel free to email us and send us a message and let us know, because we'd love to hear it. So thank you so much, Lisa. Yes, we love to talk to customers, so please just reach out. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and jump in here to the new version. And so before I do that, though, I just want to say, I know several of you have already kind of been into it in the past day and a half and have been using it. Please comment in the chats, if there's any questions you have as we go through this, any feedback, any comments in particular, things that you really like, things that you've seen. We would love to hear it. So please share as we go through this, and we'll kind of talk through different things. Ask questions. If there's something that you aren't clear on, please ask, and we will answer that, and hopefully get through everything that has really changed and can help you be successful. All right.
Thanks, Beryl.
Oh, thank you, Beryl. I agree. So much prettier. All right. So, yay, new upgraded Grant Frog. Another thing that I wanted to mention too is how we have named it the Leap version. And I just have so much fun with this because it just, gives a little life into something more than just software. There's a lot more to it. And so the Leap version was very fitting in how we went forward with this, and how we're ready to kind of leap into the next thing with Grant Frog. Okay, so when you're looking at the dashboard here, you are able to see really all of those things that you've seen most. So your grants pending amount, your task, your reports, your grants due. One of the things that I'm most excited about that we've been asked for from multiple people multiple times is the combined deadlines. And so this was just one of those priorities that we really wanted to do. You can now see all of your combined deadlines for your grants, your grant reports, and your tasks. And on the dashboard here, you can actually see these first 5 here. And that's something that has been requested. We're excited to show that. So anything that you're working on, you know what's coming, you know what's due this week, the next couple of weeks, the next month. It just makes it so much easier to see what's due. Now, you do still have all of your grants due within 90 days, your tasks due within 90 days on the dashboard, and your grant reports due within 90 days. So I really like this outlook because so many times in grants, it typically takes a little bit of time to start working on a grant. You have to gather up all your documentation, get your updates on your reports, your numbers, different things like that. And so just being able to have that outlook there is so helpful. So we've got the deadlines, we've got this dashboard. Now, here's one of my other favorite things. So by default, when you log in here, you will have the view of everyone in your organization, all the users on your Grant Frog account. You can see all of the deadlines, tasks, grant reports, grants on the dashboard. But one of the neat things is we have, multiple nonprofits and companies who are using it with multiple users. And so now you can easily switch from the everyone view to the only me view. And this is something that we're excited about too, because now you can see just the information that has your name on it, just the tasks, the grants, the grant reports that are yours to take care of. They're your responsibility. You're able to just focus on what you need to and not necessarily have to see everyone else's deadlines here. And so this is one of those things, just talking to several organizations that really needed a way to focus and help you see just your information. So this was a fun thing that we were able to add. And all you have to do, just switch back to everyone if you want to see that. I'm hoping, I know several of y'all are on this call, and I hope that this has been helpful just for seeing those tasks and grants and things for just you. All right, so a couple of other things. Just really being able to add grants, tasks, funders, or grant reports from any screen. So no matter where you are in the app, you can click this new button up here and you can add the new grant, the new task, the new funder. The same with the dashboard, you have the drop down. So this really makes it a lot easier. No matter where you are, you quickly think of a task. You see a new grant that you need to add, you can add it from anywhere. All right, to continue on with those deadlines, let's jump over here. We now have a dedicated deadlines page. So again, all of your deadlines combined in one way. Now the deadlines page has a calendar view. So you really have an outlook from the calendar view of all of your upcoming deadlines. You can see the green are grants, the blue are grant reports, and the orange are tasks. When you click on one of these, you'll get a small pop-up with the information about it. So you have, here's a grant, the funder, who the person responsible for it is, the status, and the due date. And then you can click view grant and actually jump to that grant and see that information. It's the same with the rest of them as well. On the deadlines, you can also switch to the table view. So if you'd prefer to see them in a list, you can see that as well. Now, a few neat things too, you can use these filters. So if maybe you only want to see Aaron's information, his deadlines, you can filter that. You can also change it by the type. Maybe you only want to see the grants that are due. You can do that. And then there are several more filters here where you can really filter that down. So that's been really neat to have, to see, to use all of those combined deadlines. Um, yes, thank you, Liz. I am so excited about the deadlines page. I'm hoping that it's so useful for everyone. I really think it will be. While we're on the deadlines page, I'm just going to go through a couple of things. Just the fact now, if you've been in the previous Grant Frog app, you now can rearrange your columns, you can hide columns, you can show columns. This is something that's been requested. And it's really kind of one of those quality of life things that I love. If you don't want to see a couple of these things, you could just turn that off. And then you really have kind of your own custom layout here for these deadlines.
And any choices you make there will be remembered, so you don't have to do it every time.
Ah, yes, perfect. Great point. So once you set the display, you can jump back here. You'll be able to see that the same every time you log in. Amazing. Thank you, Liz. Yay. I'm so excited about the deadlines. We've heard that from multiple people, and I know it's so helpful. All right. Let's jump over to a grant. All right. So some of this feels familiar in the way the menu is laid out, really easy to manage your grants, your grant reports, your task, if you're a consultant, clients. So you can really see all that in the menu and jump between this very easily. So we're going to jump into the grants here. So grants are ordered and grouped by their status. So an upcoming grant, a submitted grant, in progress. Now, if we click on a couple of these, we'll get this drop down and you have that familiar table. You can see the amount requested and that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and jump into a grant. We can click on that. And a couple of things in here that I'm just really excited about. Number one, if you've been using Grant Frog, you now can edit in line. So you don't have to click the edit, change your value, then click done. You can just easily make this change right here. And if we do that, let's change that. And kudos to Chris for making this app fly, because you make that change and it is updated in one place. So just being able to switch that quickly and easily, you have all of this information up here about your grant, your due dates, your status, that amount requested, just to get that quick view to see what you're working on. Oh, Allie, great question on the display. I'm going to answer that on your dashboard. So will it display that way for everyone or you? It should be custom to your account. So it'll save your preference settings for that account. Great question. So in the grants, again, you can just edit easily anything in line and it automatically updates as soon as you click out of it. Another neat thing that we've done is we've created this little menu up here. So before you had to scroll down to see your grant reports and your tasks while you were on a grant. So now you can quickly jump between here. So for example, this grant, let's say that it has a quarterly report. So you're going to have 4 grant reports. You can quickly add these grant reports here, save that. And then you'll be able to see that list here for these grant reports. Is there a field that we can use for grant numbers? Yes, great question. You could probably use the notes field for your grant numbers. And then we also have some amounts as well. Sarah, if that helps. So on your menu here, you have these tasks as well. So again, instead of having to scroll all the way down, you can create those tasks here in the menu. You change the title, you can connect your funder. And let's talk about users. So every grant report or task has to have a primary user or the owner. And so how this works is you add the owner, but if you want to have multiple people working on a grant or a grant report or a task, you can also add collaborators. So you can have one, you can have multiple. And what will happen if you add this is number one, this will show up on their deadlines page on their dashboard. They'll be able to see this grant on those two pages, but they'll also start getting those automated email reminders. So whatever notification preferences you have set up in the settings, this person will also get those reminders as well. All right. Now, when you're in the grant here, you can quickly add a grant report or a task here as well. You can save all of that important information. We do have custom tags, so encourage you to use that. That is so helpful if there's something specific that we don't have a field for, or maybe something custom to your organization, you can use these custom tags. Let's look at when you're in the grants, you can see your grants all except for awarded. You actually can show awarded in this list, or you can turn that off. But we also have an awarded grants page, and this is really helpful if you are more of the post-award person and you're managing the post-award, because when you go to the awarded grants page, you'll actually see some different fields up here. So you'll be able to see the grant amount received, the next report that is due, when you receive the response. So you're really watching, those deadlines. You can see when you actually received the grant. So the awarded grants is great if you're really doing more of that post-award. One thing I do want to note is we have 3 awarded types. We have awarded, awarded received, and awarded closed. Awarded is if you have received the notice that you will be getting the grant, but you don't have the funds yet. Awarded received is that you have received the funds, the grant is still open, the project is still open, you have not submitted all of your final grant reports, you're still working on it. And then awarded closed is once the grant is closed out, you're done with the project, all your reports have been submitted, and it is completed there. Heather, great question. They can be, yes, so they can be added as a collaborator in the main grant or the task. So if you want them to be reminded of both, go ahead and add as a collaborator in both. And one thing on the tasks that we'll get into is that when you actually tag someone in a task, they get a notification in their email. So that is something that's a little different than grants and grant reports. If you create a task, put their name as the collaborator, they will get an email about that task. Great question. All right, so just want to go through a couple of other things. The grant reports, again, just a different layout, a different feel, and how this works. So easy to edit, easy to change your information here in the grant reports. All right, let's talk about a brand new feature that we didn't have before, but we have now, and that is documents. Excited to add this one because we have been asked for this one multiple times. And, sometimes it's just easier you just want to put your documents right here related to this grant. Yay, Beryl. I know, I'm so excited too about documents. We've been asked about this. So there are a few different ways that documents work. So number one, you can add documents into any grant, any grant report, or any task. So I'm actually going to open up one of these grants again. And we have the documents menu over here. All you need to do is click add documents. That will present an upload screen. You can add your documents there. So then for any grant, you want to put your grant application, you want to put some of the documentation, the budgets, the information that you sent related to that grant, so that everyone else can see these documents and you can reference them later. You can put that into the documents field. So what happens when you put a document in is everything ends up inside this document library. So if you add something to a grant, you will be able to see that document not only in the grant, but also here in the documents page so that you can reference any of those documents over time. So you're able to search them, you're able to see the type, who uploaded it, when it was uploaded. Something that we're going to be adding later are document folders. So with these, you can also upload all of those typical grant documents that you have to send, your board of directors list, your leadership list, your fiscal year budget for the organization, your fiscal year budget maybe for the specific program. So documents are really useful for storing all of that information related to your grant so that when you're working on a grant or someone else is working on a grant, you have all of those documents here in your documents library, easily accessible in Grant Frog, so everyone knows where it is and it can all live here in this documents library. All right. Harriet, great question. Is there a feature that would help manage sub-recipients' work and tracking everything from risk assessments? So a little bit. We don't have as much of that built out at the moment, but in some of your reporting, some of your grants, you could add some information about that in particular in the notes, in the references, and the outcomes and things like that. So that could be an option. So feel free to reach out to me and we can probably talk about that also a little bit more because I have more thoughts on it. Heather, great question. Is there a storage limit to the documents? No. So we do have kind of an internal upload limit. Chris, can you remind me as far as like the actual per file upload limit?
Per file limit. Sorry, I don't know it off the top of my head, but I think it's
It's
pretty
significant.
reasonable. Yeah.
Okay. So no, there are no document limits. I mean, now if it gets to be kind of just an unusual, extremely high case of storage, we might just individually look at them. But right now, we don't want to limit you on your documents. When it comes to grants and grant reports, there are just so many things that go into that. And so we really don't want you to feel limited by that. And so want you to feel like you can manage your entire grants program in here. And so we don't have any specific limits, just some really high ones internally that we'll watch on a case by case basis.
Correct.
Okay, so let me see. The next thing that I wanted to mention is our foundation research is now called Funder Intelligence. So with Funder Intelligence, we pull in all the private, corporate, and community foundations in the United States. We pull in all their 990s directly from the IRS. We can see their contact information, the grants that they are giving to organizations, what their assets are, what their total grants are, their average grants, different things like that. And so we put it all into Funder Intelligence for you to quickly search while you're working on a grants, while you're researching, while you're trying to find new foundations. It's all built in here directly into Grant Frog. And one of the reasons we have renamed it is we're planning for the future. We want to make it even more helpful. We want to add live grant deadline cycles so that you can see if you open that foundation, you can see they have a grant deadline for June 1st. And you're able to see those live grant cycles. And so we want to continue to improve this and make it better for you, easier to find foundations. So a few different ways that you can search. You can search by the foundation name if you know one off the top of your head. This is something that as when I'm writing grants and I have this foundation I'm about to work on and I say, okay, I really want to look at their information again and make sure that I'm asking for the amount that I originally wanted to ask for. Is this still the correct amount? So it's really great for referencing that before you do submit a final grant request. And I found myself doing that So you can search by name, you can filter it by a focus area, children and youth, community development. So that will show you all of those foundations. You can also filter it by a keyword search. So if there's something specific that your organization does, whether it's education, children, or animals, something in particular, you can do this keyword search. You can save any searches in Grant Frog so you can reference them back and you can see those as well. A couple of other searches, and I have multiple videos on this, so I won't get into this as much today, but you can also do a grant recipient search, and this is where you can search other nonprofits and organizations and see, who they're being supported by now. Is that a foundation that might support you as well? Yes, a great question. We have 200,000 foundations in here, and actually just did an update a couple of months ago. So added several more here, and we try to go and update this on a regular basis. The IRS isn't necessarily on a regular schedule, so we're really just based on when they update is when we can update. So that is how that works. And I just want to mention too, so when you're in here and maybe there's a foundation in particular that you are looking for. Oh, let me put that in the right one here. Needed the name. So if you open a foundation's profile and you have their contact information, you have their funding focus areas. So this is we look at all the grants and we say, what does this focus area cover? And we put that into this bucket so that you're able to see. You have the grant application guidelines. You can see the key personnel and board members for that foundation. And then we put some of these grant insights and trends. So we look at all of their grants and we say, okay, so what's the total amount that they've awarded by year? What is their average grant size year over year? So you've got an understanding of where they're giving. You also have the geographic focus. So for this one in particular, they have, most are in Texas, but they actually give in multiple states in the US. And then you come down here and you actually have their list of grants. So you're able to see the name of the organization they gave to, the purpose, the amount, the information about that, so that you have an understanding of really what their priorities are and what their focus is. We also add in this grant amount distribution. And so what that can help you with is you can see the median grant amount. They typically give 75,000. That's a good starting point. And from there you can determine, okay, for my organization, what do we need and where do we fit in here? They give 30,000 on the low end and average 393. So just really helping you see a little bit more, a little more insight into who this foundation is and how they're giving. One of the neat things now is if you decide this foundation is a fit for you, you want to go ahead and submit a grant to them, you can save this funder directly into your Grant Frog account. So it's built in directly. We're going to add it directly to your Grant Frog account. Now you can approach them with your grant request. So if we go over here to view funder, we automatically add in several pieces of that information, their contact information, here, some of their guidelines, their focus areas. So now you have them as a funder in your account. And from there, you can go ahead and start your own grant process. So you're going to click add grant. And let's just say, we're going to type in tech for new school. Maybe want to go ahead and put an upcoming, put in your due date so that you start getting those automated email reminders from Grant Frog. And just more information about that. Once we create that grant, it's going to show up on that funder page. All right. Any questions in particular about that. I know that was a lot of information on the research piece as well. So we're excited to continue to make that one better. We have plans for that.
And one thing, if you go back
Okay.
to the funder page,
All right. On Reese Jones.
yeah, and maybe just point out that when you add a funder through the funder intelligence, you can always quickly jump
Hmm.
back to their profile.
Yeah. Great call. So since we just added the Reese Jones Foundation from Funder Intelligence, you now have a link back to that foundation profile in Grant Frog. So this is really great. Once you start to approach this foundation, start working on your grants for this, you can jump back, just like I said that I typically do, just to get an idea again of what amount I want to request. Yes, and Liz just asked me about this last week, and I was excited to tell her, yes, we're going to have that as a feature.
Nice.
Um, so that's really great. Longer term plans, what we would like to do is match your current funders in your account to the funder intelligence so that you're able to jump back into that profile, even if they're not one that you've added directly from Grant Frog. So that is something we hope to do eventually. Okay, so we are almost there. Let's jump into reporting. This is something I'm really excited about as well. So I think that, by default, Grant Frog already had a great way for you to be able to just pull that information on your grants, what's awarded, what's upcoming, what's submitted. I know that it's common for all of us to either have to submit monthly reports to leadership or quarterly for board reports or just for you yourself and seeing where your grants are, what you have open, what you have pending, what you've been awarded. And I feel like this is just really such an important part of grants is being able to pull these reports quickly, easily. They have what you need and you know where you are on your grants. And so we're excited to really just add more to this grant reporting feature and really help you be able to present those nice reports to leadership or the board or for your own reasons and your teams as well. So a couple of things that you'll notice, you now have really this reporting overview, and you have some charts. So just a few ones right now, you're awarded versus declined, requested versus awarded. You have your total funded, how many you've been awarded. You have your grants by status, and then by amount. So just a few different charts that you have. We do plan to add some more to this over time. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to reach out. This is really just the start.
Yeah, definitely. If there's reports that you're commonly polling and would be useful for you here, like please reach out to us and let us know.
Yes, absolutely. And know we all have to pull a little bit different ones, but I'm glad to hear what you need to do. So you can filter this by a date. And this is something that I need to mention too. We now have a fiscal year setting. So this is really useful in multiple date filters across the app that you can now pull by your fiscal year. So all you need to do is go into the settings over here. You can add your fiscal year. What is it? Start month. Is that what we did, Chris?
Hmm.
So once you do that, you'll be able to use this fiscal year setting. So right now you can choose what these charts display by your date. You can also pick and choose whether you want to hide some of these or show some of these. And then if you would like, you can also rearrange them. Now, if you would like to take this chart and make it into, have something nice, you can just download the PDF. It will export any chart that you have on the page. So you'll have a really nice PDF that you are able to use.
And you can also export or copy individual charts. if you
Ah,
just need one of them.
yes. Yeah, good point. You can also kind of play with these charts a little bit, resize them, copy them, download them individually. Okay, let's look at a couple of questions here. When entering multi-year grants, does Grant Frog figure out to get the fiscal year amount? Yeah, so that's where it does get tricky. Beryl, probably with that, you'll just need to go ahead and enter in your actual date range. So if it's a 3-year grant, you'll probably need to go ahead and enter in from, the start date to the end date. Whether that's from the time that you requested the grant until the time you're going to close it out. You'll need to do that in particular. So the fiscal year setting right now is really just going to grab what's within your fiscal year. And I think that's another thing to think about too, is sometimes you may need, a lot of times in grants, we have a 3, 6, 9, 12-month wait on a response from a funder. And so you may need to open those date filters a little bit more and use a custom date filter, whether that's maybe an 18-month date range so that you're able to capture all of that information for your grants. Lisa, yes. So is there a way to give a date range? So right now on this reporting one, there is not, but we're about to add a custom date picker on this one. In all of the other reports, there are custom dates. So we will get into that. Great question. Yes, and updating your funders and activities and awards. Yes, yeah. Sometimes on those, as some of you may have seen, if you're transferring some of your grants, you may want to update them so that these totals are accurate. I know every now and then, sometimes we forget to update a grant, or maybe we don't change the amounts and things like that. So definitely go back and update those so you'll have these nice reports. Yes, Colleen. Yeah, she's so glad to see the fiscal year option. Same, we've been asked that several times, and Chris made sure that happened. So excited about that. All right, next one, we're going to jump over into the trends. So these are the year over year grants. So what you are doing year over year, and as an organization, what you're doing with grants. So you can see really the change over this. And what's funny is I was actually just telling Chris this yesterday, our demo data here. Apparently this grants person has had a rough few years because their grants keep going down. So probably should have updated that so it looked like there was at least
You need to update the demo data.
going up a little bit, but you can see that year over year change in your grants. You can see your grant outcomes by year. So if you hover over this, you can see, what was declined, how many were awarded, how many were pending. So this is just great for that history, that overview to see what you're doing over time. All right, let's get into the reporting. These are the ones that you're going to be using the most and that you've probably already been using in Grant Frog. Just being able to pull these reports by your status, by your user, by your dates, and what's most helpful to you and what you need to present. So a few things. Number one, you can filter by, again, different options. If you'll notice the big change in the fact that these filters are so much prettier, and really excited about that. There's not 25 filters up here. They're in this little drop down, so they haven't gone away, but they're here in this drop down, and you can choose multiple options. You could choose by your due date, by the owner, by the status. So if we go here and we click a status, maybe we want to see what's upcoming and in progress. We can filter by that and see that list. Now, similar to the grants and other pages, you're also able to change what you see on your report. So there's probably some things that maybe you don't want to have on this export. So you can pick and choose your columns if you would like. You can take some of that off. You can add that. You can rearrange them as well. So really just to customize it more to what's useful for you and how you want to report, you're able to do that. Now, one thing that we have added is a PDF option. We've had the CSV, which is still super useful. Sometimes you just need to export that list, but now you can download it as a PDF. So once you click that, it's going to take exactly what you have here on the screen, your columns, your due dates, and you have this nice PDF with all of that information, your title, funder status, and you can just share this with anyone that you need to, or use it for your own purposes, whatever is best for you. The same with your grant reports, your task, your funders. You can pull reports really on anything. So we want to make it easy for you to be able to get the information that you're working on, know where your grants are. It doesn't feel like it's just stuck in this box of we don't know what's going on. I want you to know what's going on with your grants, and these reports make that easier. Eventually, we are going to add some preset reports. So common ones, again, like we mentioned, if you have some that are commonly used, we are going to add some of those so that it's a one click and you can see that information quickly and use it as you need. Any thoughts on reports? Let me know on that. I know we are getting to the 2 o'clock. Well, I'm sorry, maybe not two for you, to the top of the hour. Just a couple more things that I want to mention before we wrap up here. In your settings now, again, if you're the admin on the account, you can change the fiscal year, and you just do that right here. Your profile settings. So one thing that we didn't transfer over was your profile pictures. That was just a little bit of a difference. So if you could go in and you want to add your profile picture again, this is where you do that in the settings here. You can also set a time zone. So that will actually set your reminders to your time zone. Your notifications are in here as well. So your grants, your grant reports, your task, overdue. That is one thing that I probably need to mention too. So now we show information about your grants, task, or grant reports that are overdue. And we will show those as an overdue status on your dashboard and your deadlines page for 45 days past the overdue state. So if you go in and update the status to something else, or you change the date, that overdue will go away, but it will show for 45 days, and then it will drop off after that if you don't change it. So these are your email notifications, your team members. So depending on the plan you have, how many team members you have, you can see everyone's in here. You can add another user this way as well. I want to talk about programs and tags real quick. We had these in the original menu to begin with, but now they are in the settings. Programs are where your grant funds are going to be used, or your project for where your grant funds are going to be used. So you use programs inside of your grants so that you can filter by program or project on your grants. Those are in the settings. And then your custom tags as well. If you want to edit those in particular, you need to go to the settings. You can always add or remove tags from a grant or a funder. So this is really just more of an administrative thing where you can manage them in the settings. Your getting started page, hopefully everybody got the welcome screen and the hello and the videos on how to use Grant Frog. You can find them all on this welcome page and see everything that we've talked about here today. We also have updated documentation. It now has all the new information about Grant Frog, about all these updates. You can now see them all in this documentation. You can click contact now. You can just fill in the message and this will go directly to Chris and I. So if you have questions, feel free to just click this little chat widget over here and send us a message, and we would love to hear from you. Yeah, Beryl, great question. Who can make changes in the settings? The admin or others? It should be just the admin as far as the member changes.
Yeah, a non-admin can change their own profile and then their own notifications, but everything else is the admin.
Awesome. Okay, so that is really an overview of all the changes, everything. We're going to stay on here for a little bit longer. Feel free to chat, ask us more questions if you would like, but really thrilled you're here today. Thank you for using Grant Frog. If you're a customer, we're so excited to really be able to share this with you. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you, how we can just continue to make it better, and let us know what you love too. We like to hear that as well. And if you haven't used Grant Frog, please reach out to me, Hannah at grantfrog.com. Love to help you get started. So thank you all so much for being here.
Yeah,
We're gonna,
thanks everyone for taking the time.
yes, thank you so much, Liz. I'm so glad. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much, Miranda. So thankful. Yeah, we're just going to hang around here. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know or say hi. We're thank you so much, Allie. Perfect. Yes, please reach out to me. Bye, Sheena. Great to see you. Bye, Lisa. All right, Lisa, get to work. Thank you, Heather. Yay. Heather, I'm so excited. Thank you all so much. You and Kim. So excited. Thank you, Liz. Good to see you. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Chris and I are going to have to take a nap after our event. Thank you so much, Heather. I really appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Okay, tell me, Heather, what are your questions? Oh, Liz, in the reporting section, the client's report doesn't seem to be populating. I can see on the clients tab. All right, let's look at that real quick. Not on the reports. Oh, so let's see. Liz numbers, but not the report. Liz, maybe explain to me. Oh, I wonder if it was showing. Let me look here. Clear. Liz, is this what you're talking about? Maybe the filters on the clients, possibly? Let me know if that's it. Um, Heather, question on the LOI awarded under the status. Um, oh, I don't know that we had an LOI awarded status. We haven't had that one. So probably the best way, Heather, there's a couple of ways to do LOIs versus grants. You can, and really kind of depends. You can create two grant records. So one for your LOI, one for the grant once you do that. But if you do it that way and add two records, remove the amount on one. That way your amount reporting is accurate when you're doing that. Or you could, no, you're good. Um, or if you want, you could create one record and just use the submitted status, use a custom tag maybe to tag it as the LOI. I do think that may be in there for you. So that then you can report on that. And then when you actually go to the grant, use the same record and just change the status to, reflect the new things, add your LOI submitted date, maybe in the notes, and keep it all in one record. So a couple of ways. Okay, perfect, Heather. Thank you. Okay, Liz, if you look at the clients tab, all I see are zeros for grants pending. Oh, okay. Let's see. May have, I got
Yeah, I
you.
think
Okay.
yeah, that's a good find there. I think that's a bug that we'll fix.
Liz,
If
great
you
call.
go to the client's page, you'll see the actual numbers, Hannah.
Gotcha. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just a little bug right here. Good call, Liz. Glad you saw that. We will get that fixed. This should have some numbers here, so we will work on that. Thank you so much. Okay. Tiffany, is the unspent amount field still available? Oh, Tiffany, you know what? That's a good question.
Hmm.
It is in the back end, so let us look at that and we will display that.
We'll get that added back. Yeah.
Yes, great question. I know y'all were using that. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Liz. Thanks for being here. So good to see you.
Mhm.
Bye, Tiffany. Thank you so much. Glad you were here. Amazing. Awesome.
Mhm.
All right. Well,
Cool.
we're gonna hop off. Good to see y'all. Have a great rest of the day. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.